Being ill is a choice. Now, I'm expecting to trigger some people with this, but I believe it to be true. And I've observed this a lot in my reality, just by observing others compared to myself. And here's a little story for you. So, in my workplace, my colleagues are constantly getting sick. It's unbelievable to me. Some people have been ill so many times this past year, and yet in the last 3 years, I've only once had flu-like symptoms, which to me is the body basically cleaning itself out. And that was just before Christmas, this last Christmas. And it wasn't even that bad. I just had a little bit of irritation, a little bit of a strange feeling in the throat, a few nasal symptoms, and that was it. And it went away in a couple of days, so I was fine. But I've actually had comments from people saying, "How are you so well?" And I know what it is. You see, these people at work, my work colleagues who keep getting sick, are still obsessing with testing for a certain virus, okay? They're still testing. So let that sink in. I've never once taken a PCR test. Not once. But they are, every time they're getting sick, they're testing, and they're paranoid about it. And in contrast, I couldn't give a toss because I know it's a load of old nonsense. And I also know that you can't catch what they believe they're catching, because all of these symptoms are your body detoxing itself. That's what it is. So it's very interesting to watch the difference in our realities, and this is where you really notice that you create your own reality. If you are scared and paranoid about getting ill, like a hypochondriac, they create illness in themselves when there's nothing wrong with them. That's the power of the mind, influencing the body, okay? They are choosing to be ill because they're still, and it's reinforced by their belief in these tests and the belief in this pathogen going round. Whereas I couldn't give a shit. I'm going out, I'm living my life. I don't want to be sick, and I'm conscious of that. I don't want to be sick. And I'm fine. And in 3 years, I've only had one bout of slight flu-like symptoms. Whereas some of these people in my work have been sick probably 4 or 5 times in the last year, at least. So this is proof to me. And, a lot of this creating of your own reality happens in the subconscious mind. So people aren't necessarily aware of it. But this is where it comes from. And so when you go into meditation, you access the subconscious mind and you're able to start programming and deprogramming when you're in that state. And that's where you can create from. And you could say you're in a higher vibrational state. You're accessing higher levels of consciousness. That's basically what you're doing. And that's where you create from. You don't create from the conscious. You go into the subconscious and then create consciously from there, if that makes any sense. And that's what I'm trying to do. And it seems to be working. So much so I've had comments asking, you must be invincible, Harry. I'm not. It's just I've figured out what the hell's going on and I've just deprogrammed. And I'm not intimidated by it anymore. Whereas these people are still intimidated by it. and they still believe in it. And therefore that's the reality they create. They manifest it in themselves. So there you go. Have a think about that. Are you manifesting ill health in yourself? Are you actively looking through the subconscious mind mainly to be ill? Because that's what a lot of people are choosing right now.